All right, welcome back, everyone. It feels great to be back here. Tonight, we'll be doing a bingo run. So this bingo showcase is going to be ran by Catalyst and Puppery, and we're joined by three special commentators who are going to introduce themselves right now.
Wait, which one? Who's first?
I don't know. You do it.
All right, so this is Captain Domo, one of the people that runs Bingo Brawlers. Yes, sir. The Elden Ring. Pog. Zoodle, you're next.
All right, hey, my name is Zoodle. I'm playing a lot of Elden Ring too. I also played in Bingo Brawlers Season 2. And Chris?
I'm Star Chris. I did a run earlier in this marathon and have commentated some Bingo Brawlers stuff as well this last season.
That's crazy.
Excited to be
All
here.
right, that is fantastic. So, can you guys explain to us why this is probably like the most unique run of the entire stream?
We guess a lot of cool runs on the stream so far. The reason why I guess it's unique is the fact that this is going to be bingo lockout. So there's a whole bingo board based on objectives on the board itself that the players have to complete in a segmented time. And when they do get a square on that bingo board, it blocks the other player from possibly pursuing a bingo line within that either horizontal, vertical, or diagonal line. So you strategically place your squares in order to stop the other player from progressing in a fast fashion and try to outperform.
Right. Also, the commentators won't be able to talk. Sorry, not the commentators. The runners won't be able to talk because this is doing lockout bingo, which if someone gets a board, the other runners can't get it. So they can't really speak or hear us because then, they would be spoiled and it would kind of ruin the entire experience. So up to now, they actually haven't seen the bingo board yet, and we haven't seen it yet. So Dom, do you want to start the grand reveal?
Go ahead. And we'll go ahead and start the match right now. So there's a 10-second countdown, and then everyone gets to see the board. The players get to prep for 3 minutes. This is using the Season 2 weapon randomizer, by the way, which is also another unique feature that we had for Bingo Season 2 for the Bingo Brawlers. Basically, all of the armor and spells and weapons are randomized in the game, but the enemies stay the same. So this basically just allows the players to have versatility in builds and kind of learn on the fly with problem solving and clearing squares.
Yeah, so you'll see here that the players will have about 3 minutes or so to look at the board of all the squares that have been generated, as well as the randomized class options. So right now they're probably looking at the board, seeing what they want to rush first, such as the squares that have been starred already, to kind of show these are some early squares, like killing Limgrave Tree Sentinel with the +0 weapon, killing Agil, Margit with 4 parries, giving Bacchus Needle back. Those are all generally early squares that you can see these players rushing for. So now you can see the players kind of going and looking at their classes, being like, ooh, what's some good weapons we can snag for this run to go and beat up these bosses early.
And yeah, one more thing to keep in mind, I know this is a lot to throw at people that haven't seen this before, is that with this special randomizer, all starting classes start at level 9, and the stats are all randomized on top of that. So, normally Vagabond starting at 15 Vigor, for example, is not going to be this case. There's a randomizer that changes shuffles all the stats completely. So you have to look at gear and also look at the stat line to make sure that the weapons that you're picking, you could wield as soon as possible, if not right away. Which is really fun. And so most of the time when players do get into this, they want to make sure that they can grab something for early squares. There's a tactic of potentially going for a somber weapon that might take more stats to wield and kind of giving up early game squares so that you're able to bulldoze mid to late game squares and make that a little bit easier on yourself. It's a bit of a risky play, but players have definitely done that before, and it's paid off quite often, which is really nice to see. Both players looking to possibly going for 2 different classes here, which is going to be very fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm curious. What are you guys like, in your opinion? What's the easiest and worst, like, least favorite bingo board they can get?
I mean, I guess it depends on like player preference. But probably one of the I could see a board that's very early focused being kind of bad because if there aren't any good weapons that they have in their starting classes or that they can find a bit, like find early because they struggle with getting a solid weapon online to go around and get all these early objectives like killing bosses and whatnot. But if the board is generally like late game, then they need to find like a good weapon in order to carry them through that. So that's going to take a lot of recognition from players to see. If
Hate to
the
interrupt you,
board
Chris,
is,
but just remind everyone
Okay.
that we just started. The 3 minutes of the prep time is over, and both runners have started. So let's go.
Keep it down, Chris.
Chris knocking his ear out again.
Minute 1, we have to cut him off.
It looks like they both started with the same class, though. The Jellyfish Shield is pretty good, but I think they probably started for the Bloodhound Claws.
Yeah.
That shreds some early stuff.
It's a really strong +0 weapon, too. You know, you have Limgrave, Tree Sentinel +0, you have Agil +0, which are those both weapon options. So, you know, having a bleed weapon, especially Bloodhound Claws, to deal with either of those two bosses early on is going to be huge. Try and get, you know, something on the board as fast as possible. And then, yeah, maybe rushing Margit next after that. Also, Bach Needle is kind of a popular rushable square, too, which allows you to have some synergies with other squares, potentially.
Yeah, they don't have a shield to parry, so I don't know if they'll rush that right away.
Yeah, we'll see. There's a...
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I was just going to say, there is a tactic that people have used for Season 2, which is grabbing the shield near Stormhill Shack. There is that one little area of dismounter guys, like the little camp. There's a shield you can grab, and then grab the Storm Wall Ash of War, which is a little bit beyond the Lyrinia Bridge to parry Margit instead. It's a bit of a rushable thing, and it's definitely something that players have done quite frequently in Season 2 to kind of come up with something quick, I guess, in that moment, instead of just hoping for a good small parry shield to drop.
All right, so what are your predictions right now? I'm sorry, Zoodle. So what are your predictions going into this? What do you think each player is going to do?
Zoodle, go first, man.
Yeah, of course, Zoodle.
My prediction is that probably Puppery doesn't want to kill a Tree Sentinel and is avoiding that because she had a bad time most of the time against Kata. Kata's a pretty fast player, and I think so. This is the thing. Like, some players try to go for the quickest squares, and I can see Kata aiming on them, as well as Puppery's trying to go maybe a little bit of a safer play. This is the fun and the bittersweet thing with bingo and the randomizer, that it's very, very tough to figure out which squares going for, as well as what starting class and all the weapons. So we will see. We have to see what they show us. It's pretty much open yet.
Yeah, I think they're both running to just go and get Torrent and also to level up. I could see Kata, you know, putting a couple levels in order to use the Bloodhound Claws, and then just going back for Tree Sentinel +0. Because one thing with the Tree Sentinel square, it will drop a random halberd out of the weapon pool, because the weapons are randomized in this, and a good amount of the halberds are pretty viable to just use throughout like the whole race. You can get like Golden Halberd, you can get Commander Standard or Dragon Halberd, amongst some others. But yeah, those are the main like 3 that are pretty good.
We just got a huge raid from Mr. Gino Machino. Thank you so much, Gino. That is crazy. That's very generous. What a fantastic raid. You guys just came right in time for some crazy bingo between catalystz and Puppery, and you got the best 3 commentators in the scene as well commentating it.
Yep, I agree with that statement.
Definitely the best.
So here's another thing, by the way, when we're talking about bingo boards and looking for synergies, right? So for a lot of players, thinking on the fly is huge here, but also realizing in those 3 minutes of prep time, like what synergies they can kind of capitalize on. if you're looking at just the face value of squares, Limgrave, Tree Sentinel +0, or Agil +0, it seems like the same square. But in this case, if you're looking at this exact board, you have also kill 5 bosses with Tree in their name. Tree Sentinel has Tree in the name. So that would be a little bit more of a synergistic play of going for Tree Sentinel instead of Agil and kind of giving up that other early game square to go for Tree Sentinel instead and prioritize that for synergy purposes.
Yeah, there's also a few other squares, like if one of the players goes for market parries, they're closer to a Remembrance boss, like Godric, which in the same row, in row 2, we have kill a Remembrance boss with a Remembrance weapon. I think this is the hardest part of this bingo, is figuring out on the fly and at the very beginning, not only which squares to go for at the very beginning, also what works with each other. And it seems like that Kata is going for... Do we have Spirit Ash only? Spirit Ash only in row 4, column 4?
Yep.
He just picked up the Soldiers. They are pretty fast to get, as well as kind of decent, I would say. I'm more of a Rod Dog fan, to be honest, but we'll see how they do. Basically, what's gonna happen now, he's gonna summon them, and he's not allowed to attack or deal any damage on the Beast Farm Azula. Needs to hope and wait that these 2 soldiers do a great job here, killing the Beastman. While trying to aggro the Beastman, actually, so the Beastman attacks him instead of the soldiers. Because what can also happen is that the Beastman... I'm sorry, Chris. The Beastman deals too much damage and kills the soldiers before it dies, and then he has to basically quit out and try it again. And Puppery's doing the same thing! We have a raise already on a square at the very beginning, chat. It's happening.
Yeah, I think Kata was, like, as you said, trying to be close to take aggro, but also to kind of, like, trap him in. For a while there, like, all 3 of them were surrounding the Beastman, so he couldn't really get out of being pinned like that. But now he's kind of... Like, you see on Puppery's side, she's got him pinned against the wall with the 2 soldiers wailing into the Beastman, so it's actually catching up in terms of the health bar, although Kata's
it's more efficient, yeah.
A little bit ahead here.
Yeah, if she gets good RNG, she might actually be able to catch up here, but he does seem to have him at a bit of a... Kata seems to have both a bit of a pinch here. Oh.
GG's.
There we go.
Almost died there.
Very nice.
And Kata's on the board with a little miss mark as well, but he catched up.
And yeah, so first square on the board is huge for Kata. Also, it being a snipe, without him realizing, that's a huge snipe for Kata in this case. But it also gives him money to level up and use the Bloodhound Claws. And this is a thing for bingo or specific things, where if it's a corner square, or in this case an inner corner square, it's a very powerful alignment, because you block 3 different lines. You block the diagonal, you block the horizontal column 4, you block the horizontal row 4, and then the vertical column 4. So you already have a pretty strong position on the board early on, and then you can kind of capitalize on that and build more momentum off of these powerful squares.
Yeah, and because Kata sniped the square from Puppery, Puppery knows that Kata just did that and knows generally where he's at in the board, but Kata doesn't know that Puppery was right behind him and that she could be doing, like, setting up for any other square in his mind. So he has to, keep that in mind when choosing, like, his next squares and what to go for.
Yeah, it's a lot of guessing. Like, the players play a lot with what knowledge they're getting from their opponent, and as well as what knowledge they're giving to their opponent. So it's a big mind game as well.
And there's that shield, by the way, that I mentioned before that the players go for market parries. They both getting the heater shield, possibly pointing back to Stormhill Shack and then going straight for that Storm Wall, Ash of War to put that onto the shield so that they can parry Margit. And it seems like they both have the same idea, but Pup actually going to Saints Bridge on top of that, possibly grabbing some smithing stones from this merchant. And I would say possibly maybe prioritizing a different square and just having the heater shield as an option if she wants to lean on that.
Yeah, Kata's not even going for Stonewall. Parry's already on the shield, and he's going for the medium shield. Is it medium shield? I think it's a medium shield.
It's a medium one. That's why you go for Stonewall if you really wanted to, just to make it a little bit easier for parry frames. Otherwise, medium shield, I think it has like 8 or 10. I don't know. It's bad. It's not good.
It's not great, yeah.
It's not great. It's a really bad parry window. But, you know, if you got the timings down, it's not the worst, I guess. Especially if you're trying to rush it.
Yeah, getting that storm wall can be a bit slow. So yeah, if you're confident, like it looks like Kata is, I say he missed one of the parries. Then he's just gonna do the parries, and that's his 4th parry. So now you just gotta finish off Margit, and then he'll get the square.
These claws doing a great job here as well with the bleed. It can be incredibly quick.
Yeah.
I think both of them chose the right starting class because the other classes didn't look too well, and Kata needs to be still careful. Margit is dangerous, so they're going for speed, and while the parries worked out, what's gonna happen is that some players just go in a little bit too quick, and then Margit's just kill them. But Kata knows what he's doing, right? It's not like I'm cursing now, right?
That question?
Like you know what he's doing. It's not gonna happen or anything, right?
Yeah, I should get a bleed proc on Margit soon.
Or a nice stagger too.
GG's. And another square. So this is now even worse for Puppery because he gets another of these diagonal squares even in the same line, and basically sets up already multiple bingos. It was really clean.
Starting to build up a bingo threat here already on that left diagonal, but Pup did go for a weapon check here, by the way, just to see if she could get, you know, Alabaster's Lord Sword or get any other good great sword from that chest. As mentioned before, this is a weapon randomizer that's being used for bingo, so all of the weapon locations are randomized within their same category. So any weapon that you find, for example, in this ruin right here that Pup is currently kind of running through, there is a twin blade check, and normally you just get a normal twin blade. It doesn't really do anything fancy, but in this case with a weapon randomizer, you have a chance of getting, for example, the Godskin Peeler, which is a really good twin blade that does a lot of damage with having Black Flame Tornado on that. So sometimes checking specific weapon locations is a really good idea if you're hoping to get a different weapon option, or especially a somber weapon that helps with the board.
So it looks like Puppery is taking the transporter chest warp to Kaled here. I'm not sure why. If one of you want to enlighten me.
So maybe she's already setting up the 6 unique square staffs in the corners to the bottom right.
Right. Yeah, she's probably looking to block the diagonal.
Yeah.
That
as well as if she's already in Kaled, there's many easy killable bosses for a lot of runes in case she wants to block with Memory of Grace 50k runes, which is actually kind of a trap in the very beginning because you lose a lot of levels. I kind of just got iron balls.
Yeah.
Kata getting the balls here, so that's really huge.
Probably one of the better weapons, especially because it's low stat requirement, but fist weapons got buffed in a somewhat recent patch, and they do lots of damage very fast and lots of poise damage very fast as well.
So I'm thinking, honestly, by the way, with this Pup play here, if we're going to Kaled, it's not just the staves, right, for collecting 6 unique staves, but also kind of prepping for potential late game here, grabbing the Dectus half at some point, doing Sleea Town Skip, because you do still have Finger Slayer Blade, and that's the center square. You have to go to Altus to activate the Radahn fight. You could do the quest lines, obviously, or the other like options to activate Radahn, but going to Altus is the fastest. So that might be something else that you could be prepping for as well.
There's a lot more. There's a Warm Phase in Altus, 6 bosses in Altus to square. We have the Quiet Grave and Ghost Glove Ward. Also Lightning Ram, Ash of Wars in Altus. So getting Dectus and prepping that already is not a misplay. It's actually really, really well. And kind of needs to be careful here. These demi-human chiefs are very, very difficult early on with not a lot of health. But it seems like he already leveled up a little bit of vigor.
Yeah, the demi-human chiefs can actually be quite the bullies if you don't have a staggerable weapon. If you have, if your weapon's too light, your attacks won't really yeah, there we go. Your weapons won't really stagger them, and they can just chain react, especially with their minions around. And at low health, that can be pretty devastating. And Kata dying to demi-human chiefs there is huge for Pup here.
It's getting wombo comboed by the demi-humans there. They got lots of fast attacks, and yeah, like you said, with all the little minions around and the two of them, if you walk too far through the arena, like kind of like halfway-ish, it'll aggro the second pack, which is like the second demi-human chief, and like 3 more of the little guys. So you kind of want to stay closest to the entrance so that doesn't happen. But sometimes it can't be avoided.
Looks like that Pup is also rushing the staves here. Didn't really go for the Slayer Town skip just yet, but has the Grace. But is rushing Liurnia right away, going for that bridge skip, which is really nice skip there. And I think just going straight for the Academy Staff, possibly killing Tops, then going to one of the Broken Towers as well. She can just go ahead and rush those 6 staves to block the diagonal, and also activate column 5 and row 5 for herself as well. So if she gets staves and then possibly rushes for a Geel afterwards, she could already start kind of building a row 5 threat to work off of.
Yeah. Which she would be even ahead with the Dectus she prepped, basically, for the Warmface and Altus. So maybe that's her plan already. Maybe that's her plan. Also, looks like Kata is getting it down now.
Yeah, you should get this totally fine.
Apologies, but I'd just like to remind everyone in the stream right now that while we don't have any incentives for this current run, we do have a lot of incentives coming up for the next runs. Like, for example, for the Bloodborne BL4 All Bosses race, we have an incentive where we make the runner do the last boss without any buffs. Now, while that goal is at 700, we are at 57. So I believe we can definitely get there, and we can get close if we can push for a lot of those donations. So be sure to get them coming. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to see some runners suffer from having a.
I mean, that's the best thing. You have runners suffering, but you raise money for charity.
Yeah,
exactly. Oh, seems like Kata's going now for the Tree Spirit, which is actually.
What?
Yeah, Kata's one of the players. Sorry, Tree Sentinel.
What?
There's too many tree bosses. Kata's one of those players who likes to go for the fast squares early on without prepping much. We do have kill 5 bosses with tree in their name, so that's already a synergy there.
Yeah, there's also, like Chris mentioned before, there's also a halberd check, and there's quite a few halberds that are worth kind of cindering. Golden halberd. This wouldn't drop here necessarily because it is randomized, but dragon halberd as well would be a huge somber weapon to get for bingo. But like we're seeing Pup right now, rushing those staves I think is the best play here, because if she goes for a Geel right afterwards, if she has the time, that would block that column 2 for Kata as well.
Kata. Yeah.
And there goes down Tree Sentinel.
That's 4 squares for Kata.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Building a lot of presence on the board right now.
Yeah, we have someone in chat saying that Puppery is going for the no square strategy. Have you guys ever heard of that strategy? What do you think?
It is genuinely actually a strategy, because at some point, you know, the player that is currently in the lead for squares doesn't know what the other person's kind of going for. So at some point, it does get a little confusing. That's the beauty, I think, of Bingo Lockout, is even if you are ahead, you aren't really sure if you're making the right moves, because you're like, okay, I got squares now, that's great, but these are all easy squares. These are all very quick and easy squares. I could have gotten them, they could have gotten them. Maybe I'm just sniping, or maybe they're prepping something and they're seeing a line that I don't see, and now I'm losing prep time by going for easy squares with low synergy. So it could backfire.
So in translation, Puppery is a genius.
I will not confirm.
Potentially.
Not confirmed, but you never know. That's the beauty of the competition.
Puppery getting the Celia skip, as
very nice too.
Earlier. Yep. But yeah, all it takes is 5 squares to win a bingo match. So this whole time she could be trying to sneak and set up a quick bingo line without giving Kata a chance to respond. But at this rate, Kata is getting a lot of squares that are pretty spread out around the board and setting up for his own bingo line. As we now see, he got the Agio +0, so he only needs 2 more for column 2, which is killing Garank, which isn't the hardest, although he's pretty tanky. But what can take a bit longer is getting the Graven Ghost Glovework Bell Bearings, one of which is behind Radon, and then the other is in Altus Plateau.
Yeah.
So that takes a bit of running around and setup. So he might not even just go for that bingo. He might just, because he has this lead, he can just block off the rest of the bingos. That way, Puppery doesn't have a chance to like come out of nowhere and get a bingo line and then take the win.
Right. Yeah, there is that shotgun strategy of, you know, not doing anything in bingo for at least 20, 30 minutes, because you're prepping so many squares, and then one after the other just mark them back to back to back to where the enemy player can't really respond in time. And that could be a very lethal strategy if pulled off correctly. In this case, like, it seems, you know, that Pup is definitely behind, being 5 squares in the hole, but Pop does have a lot of prep here going into the late game that Kata doesn't have. She already has half the deck. She'll be grabbing right against Source Seal here. So she should be able to have priority on Finger Slayer Blade. She should have priority on Grave and Ghost Glovewort Bell Bearing. You know, Worm Face. Anything that is an Altus. She can easily go for the Godskin Apostle to block row 2. She's got a lot of options here. She just has to make the right choices now. So having prep is huge, but if you don't utilize your prep correctly, you can backfire on your own plan pretty much.
Yeah, we're very well put together, Domo. Basically, if she's not doing the right play right now, it can be over really, really quick. So with all the prepping, she does need to go and get some squares now, block some lines, and get some presence on the board as well.
Yeah, definitely grabbing that 6 Dave square would be huge at the very least. That would help her out. I'm not sure why she's delaying on that. I think possibly some of the squares being marked faster than maybe she anticipated has kind of thrown her into, okay, I was going for staves, but I'm going to go ahead and actually start doing prep for late game instead, because these squares are being marked a little bit faster than I was anticipating.
Yeah. I wonder if Kata now maybe goes now for some squares like kill Loretta in Leonia and just tries to block everything and just straight goes for majority maybe. Doesn't even think to go for a bingo, because that's now, he's in favor with that. He doesn't necessarily need to work for a bingo to win. He could also just play a little bit safer or, yeah, slower and think, okay, what square am I going for now? What do I block? Just so there's no pressure, basically.
Yeah, I think Puppery right now is going up to this Merchant Shack to kill a Bellbring Hunter potentially. There is, or maybe just grabbing the Grace to come back for it later. Yeah, there is a neat cheese you can do, or a couple of different ones. One, you can parry the Bellbring Hunter near the cliff and then riposte him off the cliff and he'll fall to his death, or you can bait him to the edge and have the Golem Archer that's down where the giant pot is, where you could do like the PvP encounter thing.
With the mausoleum is, yeah. Well, not mausoleum.
The arena, yeah.
The arena, yeah.
And it can shoot an arrow up at you, and that will hit and stun the Bellbring Hunter, which you can then riposte off the edge as well if you position yourself correctly.
Do you have time for a quick donation?
Yeah, I think.
Sure. Yeah, they're currently.
We have Vosman, who donated $20. Thank you very much. And then I have a question for the two of you. The first question is, someone in chat said, should we restart? It seems like it's Jover. What are your thoughts on someone saying that, guys? Do you think it's actually Jover, having watched so many matches?
Which two people?
No, someone in chat said that. They're implying that because this match is going this way, then it's already over. But do you guys agree?
I thought, no, you said like between the two of you. That was
No.
Oh. All right. No.
No, it's never Jover before it's Jover.
That's true. As someone who's watched a lot of bingo this year, Bingo Brawlers, we have seen a lot of times where it looks like at the first 30 minutes, it's like, oh, this is over. But then something insane happens and they clutch up.
Yeah, no, it's happened quite often. But you also got to keep in mind, and this is for people that haven't seen maybe Bingo Brawlers Season 2, you are looking at Kata being the Season 2 champion. So he's definitely, living up to the champion title by having 5 squares to 0 right now. So I don't know. It doesn't mean necessarily that the match is over, but you're also seeing someone in their prime currently at the same time.
But I say we just let them cook,
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree.
Yeah, always let them cook.
these squares that have been marked, like these boards are really kind of early game focused.
Yeah.
But most of the rest of the squares are kind of a more mid to late game. So, anything can still happen. But if the whole board was, like later, there wasn't like these early squares, then, people wouldn't be thinking that it's over just because of an early lead.
That is true. I do have a question about squares. We have a very interesting one called to use AOW lightning ram to kill 10 sheep. You guys want to explain that? Who came up with that? That is just
go ahead, Dom.
awful.
Yeah, so that was my idea.
Of course it was, Dom.
So
yeah, Ash of War is what that stands for.
Yeah, AOW is Ash of War. So there's a Lightning Ram Ash of War. If you ever gone to Altus, there is a section with a Lanceax boss, and there's golden sheep, pretty much, that have a ability of rolling, but they have lightning that goes with it, and you can actually put that on a weapon and mimic them with that attack. And so, you pretty much just have to grab that Ash of War in Altus and then go and kill a bunch of sheep by rolling into them. It's a pretty hilarious square.
So you walk into sheep, you pretend to be like them, and then you kill them.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's a very fun square.
Fair enough. Understandable.
And we have Pop on the board. Let's go.
She got her first board. All right.
Let her cook. Let her cook.
Yeah, let her cook. Let her cook. That is true. Another question is, how many available boards are there? Like, currently we're seeing, I'm not good at math, 25, I think? Yeah, 25. So how many available ones, or squares, sorry, in general?
There's 121 squares.
Right. And you guys would say you've seen every single one of them, of course, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Much.
Yeah, so pretty much, yeah, it's like a 1 in 4 chance that you'll see a square again around there. It's actually more of a 1 in 5, I guess. But I mean, if you've seen like Bingo Bros Season 2, that's like what, 25 matches, maybe more. So you'll see all kinds of squares all the time there. Sadly, we didn't get to see Grafted Scion, which is Chris's favorite.
Yeah, the whole season I was hoping somebody like there's the square on the board, for those who don't know. Kill the Grafted Scion in the Chapel of Anticipation, like the very intro, quote-unquote, tutorial boss, I guess. To kill that with a +0 weapon. Or no, just to kill it. You don't need a +0.
Just kill it, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. But with the weapon randomizer with Season 2 and whatnot, it's pretty difficult to get like a good weapon to fight that boss with, for it to be worth the time to do that. So unfortunately, most all the runners opted to really not do that if it's a square that can be rushed, and instead go and get the imbued sword key and take the the Belfry Tower warp over there.
Yeah.
Well as if you spend your time on getting that square, then you basically show already you're present. You spend just 2 to 3 minutes to kill the boss, right? With the Uchi and the vanilla game, it's pretty easy, but with a randomized weapon, it can be difficult.
Right. So question, what would you say is like, out of all the boards, what's like the most late game one? Is it the Mog one?
Yeah, probably Kill Moog, yeah.
Fierce Champions is pretty...
That or Fierce Champions.
And
right.
Maybe restoring Morgoth's Great Rune, that's also quite late.
True.
Yeah. Those 3 probably. We used to have Estelle on the list, but Estelle was a little too long. So
yeah,
it was just a long run through, so it wasn't that exciting either.
Yeah.
So another question is, have we went into explaining like how this works, like how people can win and why there's a 2-hour estimate? I'm not sure if we did.
We went over the win abilities, not necessarily why there's a 2-hour estimate. That was mostly honestly just for scheduling purposes when we're running the bingo season. Just like, having a set time is easier than having players just sit and wait for their match. So having set round robin timers made the most sense. And most matches, to be fair, for bingo lasted around an hour and a half anyways. So the 2-hour timer just like helps to keep things going. And it's allowed to work because there is an uneven amount of squares. So majority or, having the most squares is a possibility as a win, which is nice. So even if you reach 2 hours, whoever has the most squares, regardless, gets the dub.
Ooh, Kata getting Catch Flame, which would be really nice for kill 3 Erdtree avatars.
Yeah, that's true.
He's working on that with the maybe kill 5 bosses with 2 in the name. And getting 14 incantations. You guys can see that all these 3 squares already work with each other together.
Yeah, that's where we talk about synergies all the time. You know, if you're looking at Altus Axis, for example, here you get Fingerslayer Blade, Ghost Glovewort, and Grave Glovewort. You also get Mimic Tier consumables only. So just going downstairs, for example, after Radon, you already have a couple of synergistic plays after that to work out.
We have a Bell-Bearing Hunter race, and it seems like Kata's a little bit ahead. And he's going for the arrow cheese.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. Yeah. So he's getting off to the edge here to aggro the. Oh, they're both doing it. It looks like, but on Kaz's screen it'll happen earlier. Oh, Puppery actually just fell off.
Oh my god!
Got a little too close because you got to get really close to the edge for the golem to see you there. But yeah, the Bellbring Hunter gets around the tree, and then the arrow should hit like now-ish. Yeah, you can see him pulling it back. Yeah, and there's a stagger, and then...
That's close enough. That's a wrong angle.
Yeah, it doesn't quite fall off.
He has the parry shield here.
Yeah. He bought the buckler, but he wasn't ready for it, and then gets caught by the
Wait, what is going on?
Yeah, I think he wanted to equip the buckler, and that's the backup. Yeah. Puppery's coming back. She's maybe gonna get it now. I think he wanted to equip the buckler and equip the iron ball, and then was confused.
He accidentally equipped the jellyfish shield or something, and then it said like you don't have the stats for it, and so it didn't actually equip anything. But yeah, you can see Puppery doing the same thing. Hopefully you'll get a better angle here. Ooh, it's okay. Turns it around. Yeah. Yep. Oh. Okay, there he goes.
No, yeah, she's good.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so she's currently in the lead.
Like yeah, but this square is killed 3 Bell-Bearing Hunters, so...
But the nice thing about this one is the 50k.
Yeah.
I was about to say, you get exactly 50,000 from this Bell-Bearing Hunter, so going for the Hammer of Grace right afterwards is going to be very effective.
Yeah, no, very smart.
Blocks that row 2 and column 4 at the same time. Very nice corner square.
Yeah, Kata doing the same thing.
This is the nice thing for Kata, though, is that he doesn't have to spend the 50,000 now. He can spend that on health. He can spend that on, weapon upgrades. This is 50,000 for Kata in the bank, who's already in the lead by 3 squares. Kind of worth it for him, that she did that instead.
Yeah, when you're ahead like that, and you don't have to, also spend runes. It just kind of it's like, all right, yeah, I'll level up with this. I don't mind.
Yeah.
Puppery taking a trip to a round table and seeing that it has absolutely nothing fruitful in terms of weapon choices. So
possibly going for a beach merchant check here. She might find the iron balls now, since she's going back to first step.
Yep.
Which is what Kata did early on in the game. Already got the balls and the buckler, I believe. From that merchant.
Yep, the balls are pretty good. Pretty good weapon.
Yep.
Seems like Kata is going for Godric for the potential kill Remembrance boss with a Remembrance weapon. Basically, he's killing Godric, gets the Remembrance, and trades it with a random weapon, because the Remembrance weapons are also randomized. So he needs to be kind of lucky there too, if it's hopefully a good one. And needs to kill them with that weapon, another Remembrance boss.
Yeah, we see Pup seeing the balls and it immediately cashes in. Wants a piece of the pie.
Though. Which you don't really need the buckler, but...
It's nice.
And can help to have a parry option, yeah.
Yeah. And looks like she might be going for that other half of the Dectus now, which I think is a good choice here. What you could do, to be honest, is prep for Dectus and then go to Liurnia for the Dectus elevator, but grab the Bell-Bearing Hunter on the way at the Church of Vows as a possibility, and then go straight to Altus. Kill the Bell-Bearing Hunter in Altus too if you really wanted to, because that's going to be near the God's Apostle anyways. go for some multiple blocks there. Just like utilize Altus as soon as possible, pretty much. I think is the play here.
Oh, I haven't even seen Killer Remembrance boss with incantations only, so he's probably gonna use his catch flame on Godric.
Yeah, probably.
Wait, that
wouldn't be bad.
Oh, I'm blind. Yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, I didn't see
column
it.
3,
Yeah,
column 3, row 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's even more synergy with it.
Yeah, but there are still 3 whole bingo lines that are open for Puppery here. Actually 4. There's the bottom left, top right diagonal as well. But the row 1, column 1, and column 5 are all, and that diagonal. Puppery has still free reign over those bingo lines.
There's that nice level up, by the way, on health that we're talking about with those 50k. That's gonna be really nice for Kata.
Yeah, now he can just kind of, tank a lot of these Godric attacks if he just wants to go faster and get some damage.
Right. Yeah, he should be completely fine here. He does have 5 blue flasks, so he should be pretty alright. Although the damage is still pretty low.
That's alright, yeah.
He gets like 9 casts, I believe, per flask. So he should be a-okay. Might be a little close, though. Especially if he casts, misses a cast, or casts during the phase transition where he takes reduced damage. Those will be 2 not-so-great casting times.
While Kata's fighting Godric, Puppery is now getting the second half for Dectus, and maybe is already going to Altus. Which would be not too bad, actually. Because the diagonal looks actually really good. If she would go for Loretta and preps the Dectus lift and gets the incantations, she could possibly win.
Yeah, like I said, like Altus right now for Pup is the answer to this whole board. So that's really good that she's prioritizing that. But she really has to just bulldoze Altus, not start doing side quests pretty much by doing other squares on top of getting to Altus. I think just bum rushing Altus right now is the key for her to possibly turn this match around.
Closing in here on the Godric fight. Godric throwing out some pretty good attacks, minus the fire attack where it shoots fire at the ground like a lawnmower or something. That fire can just go anywhere and actually hit behind him as well, even though it doesn't really look like it. This attack right here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's pretty risky to stay up like that, but Kata can get hit, and it doesn't really matter. He's not. There's a square that could be on the board that is defeat a Remembrance boss hitless, but that is not on here, so Kata can just go for it.
Apologies for the interruption, but we just had another insane raid from Mr. Jazz, or Ella Jazz as he's called. Thank you so much for the raid, Mr. Jazz. We appreciate it. Welcome in, everyone. This is the Souls Charity Marathon 2023. Currently, we have the Bingo Showmatch, which is a very interesting speedrun bingo match between Puppery and Catalystz, and commentated by the trio GOATs, Zoodle, Star Chris, and Captain _Domo. Welcome
Really?
in, everyone.
Really has to emphasize that underscore, dude.
You got to change it. Welcome in, everyone. This stream, we have actually been doing so well recently. We hit 8,000 today, and we're at 8,300. And I'm very confident we're going to be able to smash 10,000 very soon. We do have a donation as well, which I'd like to read. Camel Kai donates $48 and says, "Great to see ER Bingo as part of the event." I agree. I think ER Bingo is very fun. And big shout outs to Domo for kind of popularizing it. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Captain _Domo, for creating bingo brawlers.
Yeah, _Domo, Captain _Domo _Bingo _Brawlers.
That was a lot of underscores.
Dude, what a day. It looks like, yeah, so, okay, looking at for all the people that are coming in that are new to this, by the way, welcome in. Thanks so much for the raid again, Mr. Jazz. I hope you guys enjoy Jazz.
Mr. Jazz.
So for anyone that is new to bingo, basically there are a bunch of objectives on the board. You have a bunch of different squares that you're supposed to do different things in the game, and you rush and speedrun versus another player to get those objectives completed. The other thing is, though, that this is a lockout fashion, which means that if you get a square, the other person can't get that square anymore. So you start blocking your enemy player from taking specific things that are maybe easy to you, or that you see they could potentially get a bingo line. You want to stop them from that. You can go and grab their square and that line instead to stop them from winning the game. So there's a lot of strategy involved in this format, and it's just very fun to watch. On top of that, it's a very tough, competitive, I would say, almost esport in a fashion. And in this case, also, we have a little bit of an extra twist added to it, which was from Bingo Brawler Season 2, which is that all of the weapons and armor and spells are randomized on top of that. So the players can't necessarily rely on a specific strategy or build. They have to think on the fly and work with what they get. So, yeah, that's pretty much what we're looking at right now. Currently, Kata being in the lead with 6 squares to 2 to Pup. And Puppery, however, going for some Altus access here to gain an advantage on the board, because we have a lot of Altus access type squares currently that are still open, and if she gets an advantage on those, she should be able to turn the board to her favor.
Yeah, catalystz being red here and Puppery blue.
Yeah, correct.
Thank you for telling us the different colors. Zuda, we appreciate that.
No problem.
All right, since we have a little bit of time, I do want to tell you guys a funny story of the first time I ever met Kata, and he was super toxic. So the first time I met him, I submitted a run to GDQ, and it didn't get accepted because they accepted his run instead of mine. So I met Kata, and I said, "Oh, you're the guy they accepted over me." And do you know what he said? He said, "Well, maybe if you submitted something good, they would have accepted it." And I'm like, "What the hell, dude?" And that is the first time I ever met him. I was like, "What is this guy's problem, dude?" And then it turns out that he was joking, and I thought he was toxic.
That sounds about right.
That's good.
That's classic Kata.
What a dude. Nah, he's been insane in bingo. It's been really fun watching him. He actually was one of the newest people to join into bingo season 2. I think he was the last one to actually join in, besides Zoodle, subbing in mid-season to pick it up and start learning. And he learned it so fast. It's been really, really fun watching him really break down the strategy and the basics of the game, and then the more advanced tactics as well. And also realizing that he's a very mind-gamey type of person. It's fun learning people's play styles and watching them grow over time.
It is very impressive with how like Kata got to be very good at bingo, because he was like the last. I think when he first joined the league, he was the least experienced, right?
Yeah, correct. He didn't even know exactly what bingo was necessarily, but he was just interested in it. And then he was on vacation actually at the time. So, and then the season was about to start. He had, I think, about like 2 weeks tops. Yeah. And so I practiced with him here and there, got him on like up to speed as much as I could. And then he just watched all of the season 1 VODs and all the matches, and just studied other players' like play styles and tried to understand like the tactics and the mind games that go into bingo, and just like started adapting his own style. It was really, really sick to see that.
That's how you do it. And Kata is a very well seasoned veteran when it comes to like speedrunning, and with Elden Ring as well. And so the raw like mechanics and stuff were all there, but he had catching up to do in terms of the bingo knowledge and strategies and stuff, which, as you can see, his studying paid off, and his practice paid off, as he's the winner of season 2.
Yeah, I think almost all players studied a lot in season 2, but I think Kata and as well Puppery are the ones who probably put the most practice into all the strats and cheeses and synergies of squares. Like, both of them spend so many hours to really optimize everything. And we're seeing Puppery right now on a really, really funny square as well, beating Soldier of Godric with bare fist.
Yeah. Do you want to take a guess on who made that square?
Was it the underscore guy?
This underscore dude thought that was a good idea to make this one. But you know, it's funny because like this square is actually genuinely kind of like a skill check. Because you can either go for parries here and do the front riposts, or the a little bit faster option is spamming R2s and learning to strafe. So even though this is like a basic boss, and there isn't a lot of power behind this boss. And so even though he's the god Rick himself, you have to understand basically Elden Ring fundamentals to be able to pull this off, and that's why I really like this square.
Yeah, which reminds me, one time I was watching you and Aggie compete, and Aggie started the fight before you, but you ended up beating Rick before him, and that is because you were going for R2s while Aggie was going for backstabs, I believe.
Yeah, correct. Correct.
Yeah, because you had more knowledge with the fight, you ended up, winning and taking the square in front of him, which is really good.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. If you play the game very casually, you don't really think about timing and how much time you have to punish windows and all this other stuff. But if you really dive deep into bingo or just speedrunning or any other type of semi-competitive form of video games, you have to learn all these different tactics or strategies. And realizing that backstabbing Rick and then the recovery time of him standing up takes so long that chain backstabbing is not even worth it for time purposes. It's safer for sure, but it's just slower. And yeah, it's just a really cool thing to find out with that square specifically.
So question is, would you say the kill remembrance boss with the remembrance weapon only, would you say that's a very random or hard square because all the weapons are random, so it's really hard to actually find one, or is it not?
Yeah, it's a bit of a trap square. There are some trap squares kind of in the game, depending on either the seed or depending on the board. There's different types of squares. They're economy squares, knowledge squares. For the remembrance boss with remembrance weapon, it can be a trap square depending on your options with the seed, pretty much. If you only get Godric's remembrance, but you get 2 spells that you can't wield because you don't have a staff or a seal, or the requirements are just so astronomically high, you have to go for another remembrance instead. So, for example, if you get Godric's remembrance and then you go to Enya and she offers you Renala's Full Moon or Rykard's the sorcery one, you're kind of stuck because you can't use any of them necessarily unless you start stat dumping for one of those spells. But they're so high, you might have to just go for a second remembrance boss instead, and then try again. So it can be pretty interesting to see how those play out.
Kata is right now working on a very, very important square for him. He's going for Kill Loretta Blue Spirit here in Carrion Manor, which basically blocks column 5, row 1 for Puppery and the diagonal. So this square is extremely important for Kata right now to get. And it seems like he's going to get it because Puppery is not even near Loretta. She's wandering around on Torn in Kaled. Seems like Kata is about to block that.
Yeah, I believe that Pup might be going for Radahn here in a bit. I think she has already been to Altus. So she might be going for that Finger Slayer Blade, Grave Ghost Glovewort Bellbearing type of diagonal. Even if she loses the diagonal here, she still is creating a lot of blocks and showing her advantage now. This is where I was talking about the insight or what are they called? What's the word? I can't think of it right now.
Square.
You're yeah, square. when you're showcasing where you are on the map currently, your availability pretty much on the board. Because until now, Kata can think, okay, she has Altus access or she doesn't have it. I don't know because the squares aren't telling me what I need to know. But as soon as she gets Finger Slayer Blade, she's been to Altus and she's done Radahn because those are the prerequisites in order to get that square. So once she does get those squares, she's kind of giving away, hey, I've been to Altus, I have Dectus Medallion, I've got access to these different areas that you might not have, so you have to kind of build that pressure. And it's fun to watch. And that might help her out too.
The other way around now too, if Kata gets now Loretta, Puppery kind of needs to guess, okay, is he already in Altus? Does he have access to Radahn already? To get maybe also the Grave and Ghost Glovewort? Or am I, Puppery, ahead? This is a little bit tricky.
Yeah. No, for sure. The thing in this case is that technically, with killing Loretta, Kata is somewhat ahead on Finger Slayer Blade, which sounds crazy, but you have to do this whole Loretta fight anyways to even start that quest line, and have access to Ronnie's tower. So this is where I think it's a little bit of a misplay from Pup, is kind of skipping that whole prerequisite of this quest line by killing Loretta, which you would have to do anyways for that diagonal, and then allowing her to kind of bulldoze that that diagonal with that square ready in hand, rather than kind of holding on to it pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking, Chris?
Do you think Puppery's going into Radon here with, I guess, yeah, she has the rot grease queued up on her hotbar. I think, yeah, she's just gonna go for it. Probably summon, because there is a square to defeat Radon without using summons, but that's not on this board. So yeah, it looks like she's just going to beat up Radon to then perhaps do the Grave and Ghost Glove or Bell Bearings.
Yeah, she probably just saw
Mimic Tier consumable only as well. That's under there.
Yeah. Kata marking his
Loretta.
7th square. Yeah, that's.
She can also
It's-
get Finger Slayer Blade, right?
That too, yeah.
yeah.
Kata now only needs 1 square in column 1, and
Yep.
he blocked everything.
Yep.
Every possible bingo. I mean, Puppery still has a chance then to win by majority, which basically means not winning by a bingo, winning by the majority of squares. But obviously, with her being a little bit behind, it's going to be difficult.
Getting this rot proc off is going to be huge for her. There we go. Very nice. It should be at least something that will buy her a little bit of time and try and force that, Radon phase 1.5 to get her a little bit more free damage and maybe a couple more bleed procs. There we go.
Yeah, there's another bleed proc. She didn't look like she opted for summoning any of the summons, which can help with like building up a bleed proc, because Okina is one of the summons who uses Rivers of Blood, I think.
Yeah.
And so that can add a lot of bleed. And it goes into phase 2.
Clean phase 1 though.
Flame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Catch Flame is just
kind of burning the
good.
little Erd trees.
There we go. Radon Space Program landing in. She gets another bleed proc here. Should hopefully... Okay, Radon's still rotted too, which is huge for her. So she might just need 1 more bleed proc rather than 2 if he just stays rotted for a little bit longer.
Yeah, should be fine here.
This is a very nice fight from Pup too.
Anything.
She hasn't gotten hit a single time yet.
Ooh, very nice. She jumped over that wave of gravity magic attack that Radon throws out.
Should I get a bleed proc here soon?
Well, looks
Couple
like the
more
rod
autos.
just wore off.
Rod is
so-
off, yeah.
Yep.
Very nice. Just strafing the meteors.
Here we go.
Oh, that's yeah.
Oh, you gotta be careful there. That is a dangerous attack. We've seen so many players die to that attack.
GG's.
Very nice fight, though. Very nice
clean.
fight. This gives her a lot of money to work with. This also gives her a remembrance to check at Enya, by the way. She hasn't done Godric yet, which is really good. So this is where Kata going for incant only on Godric. He has to use a remembrance weapon on either Renala or Radon. But with Pup using her first remembrance actually on Radon instead, she can go for the easier version of that square from Remembrance Boss with the Remembrance Weapon and do that on Godric instead to just make it like completely free, pretty much. Which is very, very nice.
Do you have time for a quick donation?
Yeah, sure.
We got a donation from Star Zero Chris, which is not how you pronounce his name, who says, "Thank you to Captain_Domo for creating the amazing event of Bingo Brawlers. It's always an entertaining thing to watch. Let's help save the children." And Chris's donation went towards Add Moveset the Randomizer, which is for the Dark Souls Remastered race, I believe. And we're only $23 away from reaching that. So let's get those donations rolling, guys. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Chris.
No problem. Anything for
Jesus.
my friend Captain_Dumb over here.
Oh my lord. Thanks the dono, Chris. So looking at the weapon options here, by the way, from Radon's Remembrance, she either has Mohg's Spear or Morgoth's Cursed Sword. both bleed weapons. That's kind of sick. The only problem is the requirements now for those weapons. Looks like she's going for Moog's Spear. She needs a little bit of Arcane, and by a little bit, I mean a lot. More like 15 levels.
I think. Yeah.
She needs 15 levels to wield that, but she does have money from Radon, so she might be able to actually pull off Moog's Spear here. Their strength stat is not going to be too important because you get two-hand, but it's going to be cool seeing that weapon in action, especially for Godric.
Yeah, it's awkward. She's just a few levels short. Still putting the levels in and committing to this weapon, though. Because it is a good weapon, but it does take a lot. And it doesn't seem like she knows exactly what to do for the money right now.
Yeah, there's always the Night Sculpt in Kaled for quick 40,000, I guess. But
yeah,
getting there is also a thing, right? I guess she's gonna just wing it, huh?
Yeah, probably just go and kill Margit. Get like 12,000 from that. Which also gets her closer to killing a Remembrance Weapon only. Because the Moog Spear was from the Radon Remembrance. So she goes and kills Godric with that, then gets that square. So has to kill Margit anyway. It's like, alright, I guess I'll go kill Margit with these Bloodhound Claws. And meanwhile, you see Kata throwing some crystal darts at the Burial Watchdogs, which just 4 of them will take control of one of them, and then you see they hit each other and deal lots of damage to each other. So 1 down, and now he doesn't have to deal with fighting 2 at once, and it's a much easier fight, much faster as well.
Yeah, for anyone that's not familiar with crystal darts, by the way, they do convert a lot of the sculpture type enemies in this game. So golems, watchdogs, imps. If you throw crystal darts at them, they'll attack anything else that's near them and not just the player. So that's really nice for some of the watchdogs fights, especially this one. Or there's also another watchdog, I believe in Liurnia, that has imps as mobs inside the arena with it, and then the imps will actually attack the watchdog for you instead. It just makes it way easier than trying to deal with it by yourself.
Yep.
Puppery is still struggling with Margit. These claws are not insane. I think she has no big summer weapon, right? Besides now Moog Spear.
Yeah.
For the whole time. Weapon-wise is not great. Weapon-wise is not great with this seat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how many levels. She just needs 3 more levels for the Arcane. I don't know if 17 is enough, 17,000.
That'll only give her 2 more levels.
Yeah, so she's looking to scrape by maybe. You know, a very risky play would be potentially selling all of her armor and seeing if that is enough. Some armor is worth, 1,000, if not 3,000 a piece. That sometimes is like the desperation move for money that people pull off in bingo. Sometimes pays off.
Yeah, only 2. Only 2 levels worth of runes there. So it'll be interesting to see what she goes for to get that extra bit of levels.
Yeah. And it looks like that Kata here might be going for Gorong with Sacred Relic Sword, which is probably the worst weapon
very tough
to do that with.
Malekith. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, for anyone that knows, that Sacred Relic Sword is the sword you get from Elden Beast, by the way, and it has a high stat of holy damage on the weapon. And Clergyman, in this case, / Malekith, has some of the highest resistance to holy in the game. So a lot of your damage is going out the window, pretty much.
Yeah, it's 80% holy resistance. So that's why holy damage isn't that great against most of the main bosses, because most have like 40% holy resistance, like Radon, Renala, etc. But yeah, Malekith, Radagon, and Elden Beast have 80% holy resistance. So holy weapons do very little damage, as you see. But Kat is very experienced with this fight, as you can tell, and so it might be a bit slow to get through it, but he'll most likely get through it.
Yeah, I guess with the hook claws and the low damage, even with the bleed proc, it would be almost the same. I would say.
Yeah, I mean, it might be worth to go for like 1,
maybe
or
1
maybe 2 bleed procs, but yeah, because for those who don't know, every time you status affect a boss with like bleed or frost or whatnot, the next time you would apply that same status on them, they they have a higher resistance to it the next time. Like they've built up a resistance to it in the fight.
The nice thing about the clergyman fight though is honestly like how easy it is to kind of chain the staggers back to back. If you have a hard time with the clergyman fight, there are the swipe attacks. So actually staying in front of clergyman is worth it. If you just roll to the left, to the right, and then there might be a third swipe attack sometimes, and then the overhead always happens, and you can go for that charge attack right on the head for good poise damage. Just keep basically rinse and recycle. Swipe, dodge the 2 swipes. If there's a third swipe, dodge that as well to the side, and then the overhead will always happen, and then just go for that charged attack. There it is.
He's playing that really clean.
Yeah. For such a small arena, too.
Yeah, these pillars are sometimes really, really annoying. And he deals a lot of damage. Like, Kata has a good amount of HP, but yeah, we're in Dragon Burrow, and the rank really, really hits hard.
Yeah, there's that constant overhead. You should get one more stagger here, and that might kill. That should be enough here for the riposte.
And Hogwarts, they're flying.
There we go. Very nice from Kata.
GG's, and this is his 10th square. He basically just needs 3 more, or if he can get the Grave and Ghostglove Ward, can now win by a bingo. This is not looking too good for Puppery. Let's see if she's gonna go now right away for the Grave and Ghostglove Ward.
Looks like she's going for that direction for the Warrior Altist, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much your only option. You currently have column 2 staring you in your face. You know, he's on the brink of having a bingo. That's the only square you're supposed to go for at this point.
Okay, so I have a question for you guys. As someone who's watched quite a lot of bingo, sometimes I see this happen where, like, someone is missing 1 square, and it's like if they get it, then they get a bingo. But then they end up not going for it. Can you explain why?
I think this is a playstyle of so in this case now Kata basically, yes, he could go for it and just win by bingo, but at the same time he's so ahead with squares that he basically knows he pressures Puppery into going for that square, so he knows she's working on that, so he can just work on something else, and the other squares are basically free for him to go for.
Right.
Yeah.
And would you say there's also somewhat of a risk for him to hypothetically, let's say he goes for that, and then what if he invests so much time into it, and then Puppery snipes him, so then he would lose a lot of time, and that would be pretty bad on him, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Okay.
So usually in this situation, you set up a bingo line like this with the 1 missing, and then you leave it open for your opponent to do it, so then you can just go and secure the victory other ways. But it looks like Kata might just be going for the bingo here, because he's gutting the Dectus medallions to unlock Altis, which is
unless he's just gonna go for Warm Face and the Bell-Bearing Hunters.
Yeah, he might just be wanting to go to Altis in general, just for other stuff. But
Lightning Rum is also extremely quick to get. Also close to Warm Face with the port.
Yeah, that's true. It's near that stuff.
Yeah, so sometimes the playstyle of leaving a bingo open and then going for the squares is risky, but in this case, being at 10-3, you don't really have much of a risk going for that playstyle. With it still being the board being quite open, it's really hard to try and snipe. You still have what was this, like 12 squares, 13 squares open. In that case, 12 squares in this case. It's a 1 in 12 chance that you're gonna get sniped. You might as well just go ahead, play the majority long game, and make sure that you get your victory that way.
Yeah, I think he's heading to the Dectus lift now. But yeah, there's a good amount of things in Altis with the kill 6 bosses, Wormface.
Godskin Apost is also very, very close to Warm Face.
That's true, yeah. True.
Basically 3 very fast squares. Did she pull the lever?
Yeah, she pulled the lever. Okay. So yeah, when you pull this lever, that activates the door at the front where you kill the boss, and that's how you get the bell bearing. So you'll see people either flip the lever and then Memory of Grace out, or just die. Sometimes you'll get interrupted if you try to Memory of Grace back to the to the Grace, so sometimes just faster to die.
Kata's just killing that merchant.
Kata just beating up the.
Oh my god.
The merchant.
He's ruthless.
I'm not sure why.
They have a ride. What is happening? The merchant is fighting back.
Yeah, he
I don't know.
on and I don't know. Does a Bellbrain Hunter spawn here?
No.
If you kill this guy?
I don't think so.
I think they're only in the shacks.
Oh my god, the merchant is fighting back. This is insane.
I think he's just styling on the merchant. He's getting owned by him though. This crap, I gotta use my big fancy thing. Always no mana.
Oh, no mana.
Oh.
Puppery's fighting here the Urtri Watchdog with her balls.
Yep.
Zero loves those balls.
I do.
Okay.
You know, potentially, if Pup is lucky here, she'll get the corner square and then starts guessing correctly. She could actually save the game, potentially. And with that, you could also save some kids if you donate.
That is true.
Get your donations in, everybody.
Yeah, get your donations in. As I stated earlier, we're only, I believe, hold on, let me check. $23 away from reaching add moveset to the randomizer incentive for Dark Souls Remaster, which is a randomizer / fog gate randomizer race between a Duck and Master. So let's get that in.
Yeah,
Zero math income. Yeah.
I've also heard there's a 11.5% chance, and if we hit the 9,000 within this bingo match, that Domo changes his name to Captain Domo without the answer.
That is true. I did hear something like that around the office.
We maybe should work on these 11.5%.
Well, you know, when I was what's going on?
When I was at the water cooler, someone said that apparently Domo has promised to, do that, and I was like, that's crazy.
I've heard 11.5% chance. Not promise, but hey,
okay.
Yeah.
It's a water cooler, right?
The water cooler talk.
Say that.
Yeah, people say whatever happens around the water cooler, do not take it for granted,
Yeah, yes. It was just installed too. Do we get a margarita machine soon?
I would love one.
A machine?
Yeah. You just you go there for lunchtime and get a margarita, Nice little Friday.
I like the water cooler.
Water. All right.
Just a coffee.
Chris is one of those people.
Yeah.
Get a coffee machine.
Someone without an underscore in my name.
Okay.
So Puppery's now getting actually her last bell bearing here in Shiver River, Nokron, and blocks the bingo for Kata. Kata basically knew that, and he's now also in Altus. And let's see if this can be actually, if he's not heading now towards Warm Phase or whatsoever, maybe Puppery's gonna have a little bit of a comeback.
He's gonna get the bell bearing right here. Looks like. Yeah, no, it looks like Kata's just going to go for killing bosses, running up to the Lux Ruins here, which has Gillica, the Demi-Human Queen, which is a pretty good boss to go for because there's a chest after her that has the Ritual Sword Talisman, which increases all your damage output by 10% when you're at full health. So, big damage upgrade for getting this this talisman here. Once he gets spots. Wow, this damage. What weapon level is Sacred Relic Sword? Do you guys know?
I'm guessing it's +4 to be honest. That would be my guess.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't have a charge attack talisman or anything, but dude, I hate that move.
Yeah, it's a very fast
quick turnaround bite. Yeah, hard to read.
Same with the Rune Bear. It just had insanely fast shoulder thrusts for no reason.
Yeah, like the Vort charge, just like the,
yeah.
Ooh, and we see really Puppery healing Godric. Oh, I think it's a +0. But with the Blood Flame, the bleed,
it's gonna be fast.
Be pretty fast, yeah.
Surely it'll be fast.
Going for charge tattoos here.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, I'd just go for knee heals. Yeah, that's what she's going for now.
Oh my god, it's not that bad.
Yeah, keep in mind, as Chris mentioned before, there's the more she bleeds Godric, the less it's gonna happen.
Oh, the stagger. Oh.
Oh,
Not
she
going
just
for the
missed it.
riposte. Yeah, I don't think she's going for it.
She's also out of mana, so there's no more heal anyways.
She might have a flask still, but yeah, close to phase transition. Oh, one more hit will do it. Yeah. Oh, whoa, that was a stagger. Wow, I'm very surprised he didn't, do the phase transition at that health threshold. Well, that was.
I guess stagger has priority over transition animation.
No, it doesn't though. Is the thing.
You sure?
That must have been like a perfect threshold. Yeah, if you just do the hit, it'll always do the phase transition first.
Well, another stagger already too. That's kind of huge.
Yeah, the poise damage you deal to him while he's screaming and cutting his arm off carries over to phase 2.
Yeah.
So all those hits do that. But yeah, there's the another bleed proc. High bleed damage on this weapon, even though it's not a really fast attacking weapon. The blood flame does a lot of work.
That'll be a 5th square too.
Yep.
Sorry, go ahead.
Remembrance with remembrance weapon only. Yeah, I'm just gonna say the same thing.
Good. I'm sorry. Dude.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but if I was Kata right now, I would be sweating.
Shaking in his boots.
I would be shaking in my boots right now because Puppery is coming back, guys. Right?
Yep.
Yep. So it seems like
Yeah.
seems like Kata is actually going for the long play here and is going for the kill 6 bosses in Altus Plateau. He just killed Tibia Marinsky, and yeah,
Right.
probably he's gonna kill Wormface and Godskin now.
Yeah, I mean a lot of the advantages that Kata had in terms of like the early squares and whatnot is the rest of the squares that are on there, they're very even on. Kata being slightly ahead with getting an Altus boss, but it looks like Puppery's actually just running to Wormface right here, and so is Kata, so can see a race to Wormface.
Race?
This could be huge. Yeah, this could be.
I'm gonna say Puppery has a faster weapon for it.
Yep. If she doesn't knee heal, this is where it's gonna be interesting because if she knee heals, she might actually lose out. I wanted her to just go for charge R2s, get the stagger, and go for the headshot damage. Because the Wormface headshot damage is like insane. Instead of going for knee heal blood procs, I don't think it's worth her time.
Yeah, I agree, and like the bleed can deal a lot. Plus, Wormface has again like 40 holy resistance, 40% holy resistance, and everything else is like 0 or minus.
Stop
10.
talking, blood. Stop talking to the merchant.
Yeah, what is she doing?
Stop thinking. Just buy it. You're rich.
Go.
Oh my! They activate the grace at the same time. This was synced.
Oh, she's going across.
Oh, she's not going for Wormface. As well
Interesting.
as Kata's also not going for Wormface. We just lied.
Maybe she's going for Godskin Apostle?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I
Also, I
guess.
hate to interrupt, but we just had
the bell ring.
massive donation from Sostias, who donated $100. Thank you so much. Who says, thanks, gamers. No, thank you. Because you just saved a lot of children. And we just hit the incentive for add moveset to the randomizer for Dark Souls Remaster Race, which Duck and Master will be doing. So looking forward to that.
Woo! Let's go!
People bog. Okay, it looks like that Kata is going for the double Crystallion fight here because this is a very fast tunnel to get through as one of the Altus bosses. I hope that Pup does the Godskin Apostle into Wormface.
Yeah.
Because that would be 2 squares for. That'd be huge.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Kata isn't prioritizing the Altus bosses that have a square themselves first and more just going for these. It is faster to kill these smaller ones, but yeah.
This is where that you notice that these squares, such as 6 bosses in Altus, 8 bosses in Limgrave, are like pretty time sinky type of squares. And Kata not utilizing, like you mentioned, the squares that have named bosses on them as well. He's losing potentially a lot of time here and giving Pup a lot of space to catch up.
I mean, Kata must be shaking because he's losing it. I mean, we saw him fighting a merchant and now dying on a crystal duel, potentially dying.
That was really close at the very least. Nice stagger here from Pup on the Apostle.
Yep.
Should go into phase 2.
Oh yeah, just going for the. Oh, interesting.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh,
No, I mean,
blasted.
yeah, it's totally safe.
Should get one more charge dart 2 off, and that should be a stagger.
She's actually
right?
not in combat right now because he slept. That used no stamina.
Yeah, that's like the interesting thing here with. Oh, she's got to be.
That's good. Yeah,
Okay.
good dodges to clutch it out there. That was a bit closer
Jesus.
than it needed to be. That. But yeah, it looks
So
like
this
now.
is the, oh, sorry.
Mark that, and I think gonna go back to Wormface. I think she warped to the highway junction.
I was gonna mention that the reason why no stamina is being consumed there, by the way, for the viewers, is because the boss is asleep. So technically, she's not considered in combat. So all of her charged attacks are not stamina consumed, which helps a lot, you know, with that specific boss. And looks like Kata now is taking the teleporter over and also going to Wormface, or is he going for Elmer? I don't know anymore at this point. Okay, he's going for Wormface.
This is kind of a slower way to Wormface, though. I think he might just be going to kill Apostle.
Well, why?
Just to get a boss.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, wait.
And I think
not
Puppery's heading to the bell bearing.
No,
no, he might just be running to
the lightning run.
I think
right?
this is actually maybe actually that.
bell bearing
but
hunter.
no, I think he's just running to the bell bearing hunter because it is a slightly faster path than going through this way, since he already had the grace at the edge there to take the warp across. But yeah, he might just be going around to get. I think he is going. It's so hard to tell with the pathing here.
I mean, yeah, there's so many directions you can go from here. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
yeah, now
really
I
seems like he's going for the
Bell-bearing.
grace.
Yeah.
At least for the grace, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like Puppery's also going for the bell bearing hunter, maybe.
Yeah. I think who knows if they'll go for the third one right away, because they got the first one and then. Well, I guess it makes sense to get that first one and then pivot off, but. Yeah, this is gonna be close, because I think Puppery has more damage, but Cat is a little bit ahead on making it to the. Oh,
he's
he just grabbed me and went back. Yeah, so he might just be grabbing that grace and then going to Wormface.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like it. So that way, in case, he kind of covers both his bases because he's ahead right now. If Puppery kills Wormface, then it's like, okay, I already have a grace near the Bellbring Hunter, let me go finish that. And then if she just goes for Bellbring Hunters, it's like, okay, well, I get the Wormface square and another Altus boss. So I think that's what Kat is thinking here.
Yeah, it was really smart. He's definitely getting Wormface now. Would be his 4th boss in Altus. He would need just 2 more. Puppery here, on the other hand, needs 4 more bosses.
Yeah, this is looking like a possible race on Altus bosses. I don't know, depending on, I guess, how the last few ones are going to go, or which ones they pick,
Yeah.
In this case.
Big damage coming from Kata here. Gotta be careful.
Gotta be careful.
Okay, he killed the guy. Oh, his
Death Blade!
Oh, that was very.
That was.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
there it is. Yo, talk about,
Death blighted.
There we go.
Yeah, you gotta be
made
careful.
like a tree and got out of there.
So what basically happened? Wormface has. Wormface basically has the status effect of Deathblight. If that meter goes full, your character basically is instant death, dead, and becomes a tree.
Probably not fighting the Bellbring Hunter here.
How much poise does a 1 Nihil cast even do, by the way?
I don't know the exact number, but I think the third one does a lot more. But I think a full 3 charges can get you to like close to 80 poi. I think it's
Really?
a little over 80. Yeah.
Oh wow, okay. That's more than I
Maybe.
expected. Pup's gotta be careful here. And oh dude, there's again Kata building up that death blade. He's gotta be careful.
Oh, he's grabbed. Needs to quit out here.
Yeah, just quits out. Yep.
They do say that death blight is the root of all your problems. Not a good thing for him here. Still has that 3/4 bar of death blight.
Probably needs to be careful here with the Bell-bearing Hunter. It's time to heal.
He's about to. Oh, and he dies. Yeah, I think. Was he intentionally trying to die there for the physic? Because he couldn't use his weapon anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because once you quit out or like reload like that, you lose your physic buff.
Right.
And in the meantime, Puppery takes down this Bell-bearing Hunter just about. Yeah. Ooh.
And maybe is going now.
Oh, rolling with the direction of the spins like that is so scary.
That was scary, yeah.
Gives you a heart attack. That is 3-3 right now for Altus bosses too. By the way.
I really hope she's going for Warm Face now, but seems like she is going for the Bell-bearing Hunters now.
Such a shame, because they're at 3-3 at the moment.
It makes sense though, because I think maybe she thinks she's on Bell-bearing Hunters ahead and just wants to block that column 3, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, if anything, if you're looking at it from this angle, props to Pup to not going for Finger Slayer Blade right away after getting the Ghost and Glovewort Bell Bearings, but instead going for blocks here instead of like for possible snipes.
Yep.
And bouncing off that rock, by the way, not getting that charge dart 2 off. And again, at 3/4 bars of Death Blight.
Yeah, he's not taking his chances this time and instead just kind of backing up. Gotta be careful with, don't run into the death wall there. Oh, he's gotta be careful, you can spit at him. Oh, the tree block. Okay, yeah, he knew the tree would block him there.
I feel like he's just waiting it out right now to make sure that bar dies down a little bit. Oh,
Yep.
but Warmface is not having it. He's like, you're stalling. I'm coming over, homie.
Quit stalling.
Quit stalling, man.
One more jump
And
up
should be a stagger soon here.
There
it is.
There's Warmface.
I feel like he's not allowed to dance. He is not allowed to dance after dying 2 times.
Probably dying on the Bell-bearing Hunter in Limgrave, huh?
Oh, place your game feed in this box. Is that just me?
No,
his game might have crashed.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
there is. So we explaining what's right now happening. So Kata is. We don't know.
Yeah, I think his game just crashed.
Nice explanation.
We don't know.
We're going to explain the situation right now. We don't know. Thank you, Zoodle.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, it's fine. Yeah, his game did crash.
Yeah.
Classic Elden.
This will be Pup's 3rd Bell-bearing Hunter. Gonna get her another square, so it'll be 11-7 now. Slowly catching up, only 4 squares behind at this point.
Yeah, I think Puppery might be a bit scared of Wormface. Otherwise, like, she probably would have went for that. I think both players needed a higher priority on going for that Wormface square, considering the Altus bosses. But looks like Puppery's kind of pivoting off of the Altus squares and instead going for the Deathbird / Deathrite, kind of knowing that, okay, well, Kata's been kind of quiet for a while and just got Wormface. So he's probably doing Altus bosses, so she's gonna not try to like race him in that regard, and just try to get the other squares. So,
I mean, which again I mentioned is a good play because the Altus bosses, collecting all the bosses, it does take a while, so it gives her enough time to kind of get these like stray squares, pretty much, that are not that hard to really get. They don't take a lot of time, especially in this late game of Bingo.
Are her iron balls upgraded or
no? I don't think so.
That's what I was just asking. I'm wondering why she's not choosing the spear. But
there it goes. Kata taking down nice cavalry, being his 5th Altus boss. Yeah, I mean the iron balls are a good weapon, but Yeah, I think the the upgraded like Moog would do... Oh, the assist from the troll taking out the Death Bird. Very nice, very nice.
Seems like Kata's going for the Avatar.
The Avatar.
Oh wait, but
I
what's
don't
he doing?
know
Oh,
what
is he
he's
going for
doing.
Leonine?
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah. Because he only needs
Oh god,
an Altus boss and then one more square, and that would be 13. So yeah, I think he's making his way to Leonine.
Apparently, Kata mismarked one of the squares. He counted it as a Urchi avatar, but it was actually a Putrid avatar. So, according to the official manifesto that I have right here in my hands, it says that Kata will be banned off Twitch. So, yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
At least that's what we don't even know. Like, we haven't checked yet, but that's just what some people are saying.
We got to check the manifesto. We got to go to the manager office as well, here in the bingo studio. We got to check with some people.
We got to get around the water cooler, guys, and talk about...
Yeah. We got to whisper around the water cooler.
I actually just got the email from John Twitch, and apparently it's true.
That is crazy.
Classic.
I must have been in my spam folder.
Manager here, 0 Aspire. What did I do?
But yeah, in an official match, there would be a ref watching each player and making sure that what they have marked is right or wrong. And so in this case, Kata would lose that square to Puppery in in an official match, because Putrid avatars do not count as Urchi avatars.
Yeah. So that square would get unmarked then, and then Pup can just mark it whenever she actually completes that square. But in this case, we don't have refs, and honestly, it's a charity event. So
wait, Putrid avatars don't count?
No, Putrid count. What are you guys
No,
talking
they
about?
count, but not for the tree in the name.
yeah, not for
exactly.
tree in the name.
Yeah, I think that's what it got mixed up. So he counted it for a tree in the name, right? That's what he did?
That's what they're saying. I don't know.
Okay. The brain rot is spreading to me as well from chat.
You're good.
But yeah, for the same situation, but wrong squares, what I initially mentioned.
But yeah, it's a charity event. We're not going to necessarily enforce rules here. It is what it is. Sometimes hiccups happen, but this is all for charity, so it doesn't really matter. It's just having fun.
Yep.
Nice little skip here from Kata, by the way.
For the children.
For the children, honestly.
Speaking of fun and children, we just got a donation from Gano, who donates $50, who says, so many Bingus legends in one stream. Doing a great job for the kids, y'all. Thank you so much, Gano. We appreciate that.
Let's go. Big donations. Kata doing a lot of skips through here.
Yeah.
Definitely
That
is
was
practice.
amazing.
He did every skip possible and optimally. So I'm glad to see at least someone has practiced that. Because I'll see people do in the bingo rolls generally a lot of the skip to skip most of it, but then not that last tree one can be a bit precise and scary. So,
Pop has to be a little bit careful there.
That explosion, yeah.
Deathbird explosion. Run south is the key ingredient here for that explosion, by the way, for anyone that has a hard time fighting this boss. The explosion turns into a star-shaped death flame with the star pointing north. So if you want to not get hit by the trails, run south. You're welcome.
And that should be it for Puppery here.
Also for Kata, foreshortening the Leonine with the Ash of War of this Elden sword.
Yeah.
That looked funny.
There we go. 12 squares. Scares.
Scary, definitely, because only one more one more square.
What's happening, guys? Do we need another water cooler talk? Come on, guys.
One more scare and it's over, man.
Boo!
Ah!
But yeah, it looks. Wait, but Kata
Puppery's
is not an
running to
Altus
get
though.
the sheep. Oh yeah, I don't know what Kata's doing.
What's he doing?
I don't know.
Is he gonna do the stake skip? No way, right?
he going for
okay, he's
Radahn?
running to alt. He's running to Radahn in general. Okay.
I'm surprised not
why?
waiting for another merchant to like just kill for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lost it. He's shaking.
Yeah. The pressure of being, beaten by Puppery is getting to him, Like some people just can't handle the pressure, let's be honest.
I'm surprised that he's not going for the last Altus boss. I don't understand that. Why is he not just finishing it out?
I'm pretty sure he's stalling to save the kids.
Very noble
Well-
of him,
Touche.
Same
Yeah,
as Puppery.
I think after he cheated, he just felt so bad that now, he's stalling
Yeah.
to save the kids. So.
Yeah.
Maybe
First the
he's
Avatar
just
and then-
leaving that square open as a punishment for cheating earlier.
That is true because he did get, one of the squares unfairly, so he's leaving it up.
Very honorable by Cheetahist.
Cheetah list.
There's the lightning
look-
sheep rolling
Got
around.
the lightning ram. So now she's
Yep.
got to go kill 10 sheep with the lightning ram Ash of War.
This is the fun part where chat gets the count with us, the sheep dying.
I think she
Chat,
forgot
let's
that
count.
needs to go
Let's
to...
count
Yeah,
together.
you guys hear that? We're gonna count all together. Whoever miscounts in chat is getting banned, by the way.
Oh, she has the knife. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know she picked that up. Was there a wet blade square here? I don't...
No, I think she got it from when she went to the twins. You can buy from the twins after I think you get
Oh,
to
right.
Altus or something.
Okay, yeah. You're so smart, Dom.
All right, let's
Thanks,
see.
man. You too.
Now time to watch the sheep die. Yeah, on this storm hill, I think it's just storm hill. There's a lot of sheep. That's one sheep.
One,
Two.
two,
Ah,
Three.
meh.
don't kill me.
Four.
Four.
That took a little longer than I
That
thought.
was a long four.
And
Five.
Five.
six.
Getting owned by that one.
Seven.
Then.
Looking for some more right now. Watch her roll off the edge.
Eight.
Don't
That
roll
was
off.
so funny, dude.
Oh no. Two more.
Oh, it's running away.
That one's
running away,
booking
it's
it.
running away.
Never mind.
Nine.
And
there it is.
And where it
Oh.
is?
Oh.
Oh, 10.
There it
Let's
is.
go! You could say there was some bad blood between her and those sheep, huh?
Ah, it's so funny, Dom. Oh my god.
Good one,
Thanks, man.
Yeah, so kind of fighting Radahn now with, as I was saying earlier, Radahn has high holy resistance and he only has a +4 weapon, I think, right now. So like this damage isn't the craziest. I'm sure he'll get through it just fine because he's good at the game, but it is just a lot slower than it maybe could be. Ooh, going for the riposte here.
Nice.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
thankfully it's just Radahn and not two gargoyles in this arena.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad to deal with, and there would be no shame in dying to that encounter.
No shame, even with
anytime.
summons.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of does have to be kind of careful here though. Like a lot of these phase 2 attacks can be kind of scary that Radahn can throw out. He doesn't have crazy amounts of damage to finish him off right here.
On the heel.
And yeah, it looks like Puppery's going back for the Altus bosses.
That'd be
Seeing
an
that,
interesting
okay,
snipe.
Cat hasn't done it yet. Yeah.
That is 4.
In the Ritual Sword Talisman herself for some bonus damage.
What other 2 bosses would she go for here, though? I guess Godefroy is an option.
Maybe just one phase as well?
Yeah. Knight's Cap.
Yep. Yeah, the Knight's Cavalry. All right, Kata taking down Radon. And yeah, if he goes in to kill Mimic Tier Consumable only, or acquire Fingerslayer Blade, either of the two. He did kill Blue Loretta, so that he already is kind of close to like the Ronnie quest line there. Yeah, and it looks like that's what he's going to go set up. Puppery heading into the Miranda Omen Killer cave. Very, very smart. Very fast boss. The fire damage against the flower will be big damage.
True.
But yeah, because Kata just running towards this Fingerslayer Blade, it's just going to come down to Puppery being able to defeat 2 more Altus bosses and then 14 incants and Mimic Tier Consumable only. So, yeah, I mean, this is actually... It might be doable I'm assuming she does know the strat for
Mimic?
the Mimic Tier Consumable only, yeah, to just kill it before it
definitely.
spawn.
I mean, she probably
she has to get
stats?
no, she doesn't win regardless because she has to get every single square. So
including Fingerslayer?
Yeah, including because
No,
he's
she
already at
didn't.
12. Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah. No,
Oh
you're
yeah.
right.
He's already at 12, so she has to get every single square on the board.
Ooh.
And got
Gets
turned
here.
Tries to
Almost one
drink
shot.
a physic in his face and
into a patty.
punish for it.
That's one way to tenderize a tarnish. Yeah, this is looking like a pretty solid victory here for Kat in this case. You know, she's not really contesting Fingerslayer Blade. He's got all the time in the world. Looking like a 13-10, if not 13-9. Probably 13-10. Solid match, though.
Yeah, if she went for Fingerslayer Blade, like right now instead of this boss fight, it might be too late now, but like before she went for this boss fight, she probably could have cut up by killing Loretta, and then, because she already has the Grace down in Nokron there. I don't know, that would still be... It's a lot of running to get to Loretta,
she still needed Loretta, right?
Yeah, exactly.
This is where you realize that Fingerslayer Blade is a trap square because of how much time it actually costs to even get there. It sounds simple, like, oh, I just have to get Fingerslayer Blade. Sounds good. Oh, wait, I have to kill Radon. Oh, wait, I have to kill Loretta. Oh, I have to go talk to Ronnie and do the quest line. I have to get downstairs now and travel, you know, 1,000,000 light years. It does take a lot more than I think some people realize. That's why they like players avoid it for as long as they can.
Oh, be careful,
Puppery
Puppery!
rolling into the fire! Oh my gosh. That was very close.
Omen Kill is
roll
aggressive
shot.
today.
Yeah. I think she's been trying to get a backstab on him, but just slightly missing the spot. Wait, can you backstab them?
Wait, you can, right?
I'm pretty sure you can, yeah.
You can?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can.
Without a T? Hmm.
I'm pretty sure you can backstab Omen Killers and Duelists.
Oh.
They're like the same. They're the same build. No juice.
And there's the fire
there's
damage.
Fire, yeah.
Yeah.
That works really well, actually.
Oh, missed the
Very
close.
important. This is a duo fight. It is 2 bosses, but just counts as 1 boss for the kill 6 bosses in Altus Plateau.
Oh!
Oh no!
Getting headbutted by the flower, almost died of the poison there. That would have been
a new death that we've never seen before.
Yeah, dying to flower.
Yeah.
And another boss down for Puppery.
I wonder if Kata was gonna do the Fingerslayer Blade skip too.
Probably.
So do you guys think that Kata is going for Acquire Fingerslayer, or do you think he's coming for Mimic Tier Consumables only?
Oh, Fingerslayer. He doesn't even have like the one shot for Mimic available. There is a cheese you can do for Mimic Tier here, that there is a puddle form of Mimic before you activate the boss fight. So like half of the arena pretty much you can just run in and nothing happens until you get close to the puddle. and the puddle actually has a hitbox and a health bar. And if you pretty much one-shot the puddle, you immediately kill the boss. So the
Right.
boss doesn't even spawn.
Right.
But in this case, he doesn't have the consumable for it to do that, so he's not going to be... He's basically forfeiting this square by going for Finger Slayer Blade.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. We have a few donations that I'd like to read too. First off, thank you, CB Raffle, for the raid. We appreciate it very much. We got a $5 donation from Ivory Fall, who says, love ER Bingo, amazing runs, amazing skills. Let's get more Bloodborne queued up. I agree. Let's get more donations towards that Bloodborne incentive so we can get it met, guys. And Gift Fran donates $10. Thank you very much for that very generous donation. And yeah, so what's going to happen here in Bingo? I think Puppery's going to get this warm face, I think his name is, and then she's going to get that square. And then Kat is going to go for Finger Slayer, and then it's Jova, right?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. Nice little fun thing here, by the way. If you ever use the randomizer that the 5th Matt made, fighting the Wormface boss is always fun because the name is always changed to fill-in-the-blank face. So if it's Rykard, it's Rykard face. You know, it's Deathbird face, and it just sounds funny. So everyone that uses the randomizer, I'd always suggest hunting out this boss just for the funny names.
And there's the other boss that's called Gary or something, right?
Yeah, so Gary face or Balls face.
Yeah,
I remember
I think...
I had someone fighting and I was so confused. I was like, I haven't fought all the bosses in Elden Ring, so I was like, wait, there's a boss called Gary? And they're like, no, that's the randomizer.
No, that's an actual boss, yeah.
Well, I think his name is...
Oh my god.
Yeah.
She got the stagger and got Deathblind. While Kata is not going for the Finger Slayer Blade.
What is he doing? He's just stalling.
He's stalling for the kids. He's doing that really well, I have to say.
What a fantastic job by Kat, honestly. Let's get a round of applause for this incredible
Get
stalling.
some, not only applause, get some donations in for the
That is true. That is true. I mean, as someone who knows quite a lot of stallers, especially like someone called Happy Hop, I don't know if you guys know him. He's quite the excellent staller. I've never seen someone stall as good as him. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Kat is currently competing for the title of Master Staller, and I'm just incredibly impressed right now.
He's doing well.
This is actually
doing well, yeah.
This is actually one of my favorite fights too. Is BBK. I genuinely enjoy this fight. It's a cool moveset to learn.
Oh
no!
He got stunned.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if Puppery just sleeps him and then does the Nihil a bit away, that should just stagger him. Then just the headshot hitbox.
Yeah.
Which I think it looks like she's like, yeah, enough of this iron falls.
Well, she used the Moke Spear on the first attempt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think she's just switching back now. No.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite close enough for that.
That's always such a crappy feeling when you completely set up a whole, either with sorceries, incantations, or even just weapons. You're like, okay, I'm gonna prep all of this, and you start casting all of it, and they're not even in range. It just fades away. You're like, oh man, there goes all my mana.
Ooh, clanked on that. Oh, she's stuck. Okay.
Need to be careful here about the Deathblade again.
Yeah. Kat just about done with this Blackly Kindred. Oh, trying to style on him.
They both did
and
the same
there
attack.
it goes, yeah.
There we go, there's that BBK, but Pup being chased here by, what are these guys called again? They're like, tree,
like tree guardians or something.
Tree guardians? Yeah, I think that's right, yeah, that sounds right.
Kata is going for the Finger Slayer Blade.
They're so annoying.
Let's see if he's gonna go for the skip.
Jump R2. Oh, okay, that works.
Yeah, skip here is actually really fun. I like the skip to the Finger Slayer Blade too.
Probably missed the repost.
Just gotta be careful. Oh,
almost got grabbed.
So, yeah, I was almost. Oh,
Doing these Charger 2s into no stamina is very, very risky.
And she's walking into the Deathblight cloud, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, Deathblight just seems like it's, the biggest enemy for these runners right now.
Oh! Yeah.
And Kata is just dancing around, trolling. He's stolen even more. Just pick it up, buddy.
Oh, she dinks on the rock.
And he picks it up. GG's.
There we go.
Catalyst is the winner by a majority.
Ending with a 13-10.
Yeah, very very close match. I mean, it could have been anyone's game at that point, really.
Yes, sir.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. So that's time, by the way, and let's unmute the runners so we can have a discussion about what we just witnessed. Kata, I have a question for you. What's your problem?
Huh?
Oh, no, okay. Why did you just start attacking some random guy minding his own business, trying to sell some money, trying to make money for his family?
Okay,
what is up with that?
His donkey, okay, which is an ass for morale, he insulted me and my family. You know, that was a vendetta that had to be carried out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, well, I can't really argue with that, honestly.
Yeah.
Hey, you need some respect. Oh.
GG.
GG's Puppery. So let's talk through what we just experienced. How was that match?
I mean, that was like the worst kind of board to have against someone like Kata. Just so much early game stuff. It was right away. I don't know. It's very overwhelming.
Yeah, a lot of early fighting things to go around and kill.
Yeah, so I was kind of like, I wasn't really sure how to combat that. I mean, we went for the same thing as the first thing, the Spirit Ash only. Which is kind of interesting.
Well, it was like the only rushable thing if you started with a class that wasn't total ass. So
yeah. Yeah, and what is it with the no weapon seeds? Like, why?
Yeah, it's like the second time we played in the league. We also didn't have many weapons, but yeah, in the end, for me, the biggest clutch was probably checking the incans. So there was Catch Flame. I killed Margit with Catch Flame, and I got Sacred Relic Sword. So I got like the Faith Talisman, Physic Tier, and used that to be able to wield it. And the weapon is not terrible, but it's not great either. But yeah, use that in the end.
Interesting. Yeah, I at some point killed Radan with claws. Like I started with a claws class, and
yeah, same.
Yeah, I just killed Radan at one point, and from that I got Moke's Spear, which was like pain. My first time using that weapon too. It's like, how the heck do you use that weaponoid?
Yeah, it can be a bit tricky if you're not familiar with it.
Yeah, it's very strange, but kind of fun weapon to use at least. So, but yeah, it's just kind of rough. Like I never checked incantations, which I guess was a mistake. But I don't know. It was a really hard game. I'm just scared of the early game squares against Kata, which is a bad thing. And yeah. Next time, gotta get over that.
Yeah, so Puppery, someone in the chat mentioned like very early game. They said that you were doing a strat called the no square strat. Can you explain to us what that strat is like?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of like dying on the inside with my strat a little bit, but that's alright. I mean, I was trying to get like more set up for later game stuff, right?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Like trying to get to Altus, and but problem is that I should have at least tried to get a few of those early game squares. I mean, yeah, it was rough. It was rough. Definitely a lot of mistakes on my end as well, but
yeah, you guys both made some mistakes to Wormface, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, you should have seen what happened with Kata with Wormface. He died to him like 6 times.
Really? I just died to him a bunch of times too, though. So
Yeah, this is basically what you witnessed here. Is a board that had a very interesting synergy with the randomizer, because normally if you have a lot of early squares, you want to try to get set up, as early as possible. But basically, none of the starting classes really had anything that good that you can wield, where you could really try and rush the early game squares. Like when you had a spear, you didn't have a parry shield from Margit. When you had claws, you had a freaking jellyfish shield with it, right? And you needed 4 levels as well, so you couldn't just use the starting rune to be able to wield them, because you needed 4 dexterity levels. So basically, what I identified as the best play, and what Pup identified as well, is try to do the Spirit Ashes only. Thanks to that and the starting rune, you got 4 levels, and then go for the shield and get Margit parries, and you have 2 squares on the diagonal, and you're creating a lot of pressure early on already. So that was kind of like what I found interesting about the very early game. And then, of course, as the game developed, we were probably both searching for weapons for quite a bit. And you can see that sometimes the randomizer just doesn't give you anything that you can really use. We just, kept on getting smithing stone weapons in the regular checks that are on the way. And that's when you kind of need to adapt and try to think through, okay, do you try to use a smithing stone weapon? Well, unfortunately, this board didn't really have anything synergistic with that, right? There were no smithing stone bell bearings. There was no plus 12. So at that point, you really need to kind of scratch and claw. And yeah, in this game, the catch flame was kind of MVP, because after that, you could get Urchi avatars pretty easily as well. So that was I think the biggest thing was the catch flame incantation.
Yeah, Kata, I got a question for you, by the way.
No.
Are you going to answer for your crimes? Apparently, word around the office, word around the water cooler, is that you marked the kill 5 bosses with 3 in their name, but you counted a putrid avatar as one of the bosses with 3 in their name. What do you have to say for yourself?
Oh, yeah. Did I? Wow.
Yeah.
It's confirmed.
Oh, listen to that. He's like, oh, did I do that? Yeah, I guess I did.
Wow.
Yeah,
I would have
that's true,
won.
yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah, true. If you didn't get that square, it would have been over.
Yeah, I think because of that, it's an automatic forfait from Catalyst, and Puppery is the winner of today's match.
Oh my God,
So,
Puppery!
Congratulations to Puppery!
Amazing. No, Kata played really well. GG.
No, not really. But yeah, that's interesting. So this is a very common mistake that chatters ask about, is does putrid avatar count as a boss with 3 in their name? And it's always no, it counts as an Urchi avatar, but not as 3 in their name. And then I make that mistake. Oh, that's terrible.
That's funny. Oh.
That is a terrible word in the office. And yes, I forfeit the match, and all the winnings that I was gonna get, which is 0, are gonna be donated to charity now.
That's
donating 0 to charity. Wow. What are your thoughts on that, 0?
I'm excited. I can't wait to be donated. Yeah, please take me.
Okay.
All right, that was a fantastic run. Thank you all for showing up. It was an absolute blast. I was very excited to have Bingo being showcased at SCM, and I think we all had a fantastic run. Chat loved it. I loved it. The commentators loved it. So do you guys have any closing words?
Well, it was my first time being in an event like this, like a charity marathon. So thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, donate to charity.
Yeah, I just basically share the sentiments. Not my first time, but it was a pleasure to be here. I'm glad that we got to show off some bingos. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, keep on supporting the marathon. We obviously have 1 more day to go, during which I'll be showing PvP any % in a relay later on today. So that's going to be cool. But yeah, thank you very much.
True. What about you commentators? Captain _Domo. Do not forget the underscore, guys. Starro, Chris, and Zoodle. Do you guys have any words?
No, not much. Thanks for having us. It's always fun to commentate some bingo. It's fun to watch some bingo. And let's get those donations in to save the kids, everybody.
Yeah, let's save the children. Thanks for commentating, Chris, Domo. Call me 0 was very, very nice.
But that's my old Twitch name, Zoodle. Jesus.
Call _me_0.
No. And that's why I'm so against the underscore in Domo's name, because my old one had 2 underscores and I got rid of them. All right. Now it's just 0. Okay.
Yeah, but with 2 O's.
Well, You can't have the best thing, you know. You can't have everything in life, you know. That's just life. All right, thank you all for showing up, and we're gonna go to a quick intermission. Thank you all so much. All right. I just want to thank you all for your donations and your support. And I'm going to be giving it to this most sussy host that I know, Matt Apocalypse, who's going to be taking over to host instead of me. So yeah, thank you all so much. And take care. Good night.